Hello internet friends, it's Rad Edits, and today I'm going to be teaching you some easy transitions on VideoStar. This is kind of a remake of a video I did in the past that was like 8 easy transitions on VideoStar, but there's been some updates and all that good shit with VideoStar lately, so I wanted to do kind of like an updated video on that. I do want to throw kind of a disclaimer out there because my videos aren't necessarily for beginners, within the exception that I actually have for beginners in the title of some videos, but I do rather make videos for people who have a better understanding than a beginner would. I do think these, however, are easy enough for a beginner to understand. Even so, if it's difficult for you, then I don't know, sorry. My advice for beginners is just play around with the app and just see what you can do with it, or like even if it's terrible, even if it's just like complete fuckery, like who cares? You don't have to post it. Just get to know the app and then work your way up to becoming more intermediate and then a professional and blah 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 blah, so forth. So yeah. With all that good shit and jazz being said, let's get it poppin'. So really quick before we get into the video, I want to discuss curves because I know not everyone has a good understanding of them, and I feel like it would be a lot better if I explain it in this video. That way a lot of you aren't confused out of your damn minds. So yeah. Basically, these are your curves. These are their locations where they are. And basically what they do is determine the velocity and your speed of the edit. Just fucking kidding, I lied. It determines the velocity and speed of your transition. So basically, if you were to do a spin, it's going to determine if the spin is going to go super fast or like super slow, or start slow and then go fast. And basically, to create a smooth transition with these curves, what you're going to want to do is have it start slow and then go fast and then go back to being slow. So with the curves, basically, on your first clip, what you're going to do is you're going to use the curves that are located on the left, and those are the two that I prefer. However, like, I guess you can play around with them and determine what's best for you. And then at the second clip of your transition, where the transition is ending, you're going to use the curves on the right. Reason being, if you just look at the curves, they tell you what they're going to do with the speed of your edit. So if you look at the ones on the left, you can see how they kind of like spread out and then go all the way down. That shows that it's going to start slow and then go fast. And basically for the start of your transition, you want it to do that. You want it to start slow and then move fast. And then at the end of your transition, you want it to start fast and then go slow. So when starting a transition on your first clip, you're going to use the smaller one first, and then you're going to use the bigger one. And then since transitions are the complete opposite of each other, you're going to use the bigger one first on your second clip, and then the smaller one last, which will be later shown and discussed in the video, so don't panic. So the first transition we're going to be doing is a simple slide. So the first thing you're going to do is go to New and then Multi-Layer Clip, and then click one and import the photo that you want or clip, and then go to Edit Keyframes, and just a little bit over, you're going to mark it, meaning move it right then left, and then slide it down a little more, and then mark it there as well, except move it over, whichever way that you want it to move. And then all the way at the end, you're going to move it like further down. Then slide it over a little bit to where you had it marked, and then next to path, you'll see the curves, and then you're going to click on, they don't have names, but the curve that I click on is one that you're going to click on. So then slide it all the way back down, and then choose the curve that's under it. It's the much bigger one. And yeah, that'll make it start moving slow and then moving fast. So then you're going to click the mirror that you want, and then do the tracking blur, and then adjust that to however you like, and then press create. In the next scene, go to Multi-Layer Clip, choose one, and then select your clip, and go to Edit Keyframes. Then, once again, slide it over. And what you need to know is that transitions, they're the opposite of each other. So if you do one thing one way in the first clip, then it's going to be the complete opposite way in the second. So anyways, you're going to mark it here, and then near the beginning-ish you're going to mark it there as well by moving it over to the left if you started with the first scene on the right. And I would suggest using the grid to help you with your measurements, so just literally click on the grid button and it pops up. So now all the way at the end, you're just going to move it over and then kind of line it up with the grid. And then you're going to choose your curves, which once again, they don't have names, so I'm sorry, but just choose the ones that I choose. The second marking, you're going to use the bigger one, which is the fourth one down on the right, and then on the middle marking, you're going to use the third one down on the right. And now you're going to go to the mirror and choose whichever mirror that you like, and then go to tracking blur, and then adjust it to your liking as well, and then press create. Well, review it and then create. I lied. Sorry, I'm a filthy liar. Now I'm going to be showing you a slide up just to show you that no matter what kind of slide you're doing, if it's to the corner or up or down or whatever the fuck, you just basically do the same thing, only move in the direction that you want. So now you're going to go back into multi-layer clip, choose one, and then choose your clip, and then go to edit keyframes. Slide it over just a little bit, mark it there, and then near the end mark it again, just moving it up or wherever you're going just a tiny bit. Then select this path curve. Now on the timeline, slide all the way over at the end and then put the clip up more, and then select this path curve. And then review it and adjust it if you need to. Now go back and select your mirror, and then go to tracking blur. Adjust it to your liking, and then review it and press create. On the second scene, we get to do fun things like go to multi-layer clip. Hell yeah! So choose your clip again, and then go to edit keyframe, and then slide it down towards the middle-ish, but like before the middle, and then mark it again. And then have your clip quite a bit ways down, like to this line on the grid, and then slide over your timeline again, just a little bit over, and have it move up so just a little bit of black or whatever your background color is. And then go back and do your curves. Just watch what I do, since once again they don't have names. So now we are just going to press back, choose our mirror again, select tracking blur, review it, and press create, as always. Now we're going to be doing the simple spin, so go ahead and get your ass in multi-layer, as always. And then once again, press 1, select your clip, go to edit keyframes. You're going to slide over on the timeline a little bit, and then you're going to mark it, which I know that you can just press a button that marks it, but I already have a habit that moves it anyway, so yeah. Basically, either press the tiny arrow button that's next to the little flippity-doo button thingy, what the fuck? So basically just slide it over a little bit, press the little arrow button that I showed you, and then go near the end, but like before the end, and then mark it to 0.02 and use that curve. Just kidding, I lied. Use the other curve. Okay. So then you're going to slide it to 0.10 and then use this curve. So after reviewing it, you're going to press the back button. I reviewed it a million times, sorry guys. Press the mirror, and then press tracking blur, and then create. And now we're obviously going to re-enter multi-layer clip. Choose one, choose your clip, edit keyframes. You know the routine, and hopefully it's drilled in your brain by now. So now you're going to turn it down to 0.10 the other way, since the first clip went the opposite way, and that's how transitions work. So then slide it over like before the middle and turn it down to 0. Then select this curve and slide your button down the timeline again. And change that to 0.02. And then select this curve. And after reviewing a million times, you're going to go to the back button, select your mirror, and then select tracking blur, and review a million more times, and then press create. I'm sure you guys are never going to hear this in your entire life, but we're going to enter multi-layer clip again. Oh my god. So select your clip, obviously, go to edit keyframe, and then mark it about here by zooming it in just a little bit. And then go back and press it down to 100. And then select this curve. So now go all the way down to the end and turn it up to like 135, 140-ish. It depends on your clip. And then select the curve that I selected. You're going to go to color, choose tracking blur, adjust it to your liking, and then press create. So now you're going to go to the magical land of multi-layer clip, choose your clip, edit keyframes, and then all the way at the end, you're just going to move it over a little bit, not really, and then if you want to, just put it back. Not that it's going to matter much, but all the way at the beginning, you're going to slide it over. You can do it diagonally, you can do it up, you can do it down, it doesn't matter. Just go to path and choose whichever shake that you want. And this is the one that I chose, but there's like 6 to choose from, maybe? I don't know how to math, oops. But yeah, and then you're going to go to tracking blur. And then adjust everything to your liking and go to mirror. And there you go. So for the simple flip transition, you're going to enter this really dope but not heard place. It's called multi-layer clip. Yeah, pretty cool. Press 1 and then obviously import your clip again. Go to edit keyframes and do what you've been doing this entire time, which is marking it like near the end, except press the flip button. And slide over near the end and put it to 0.02. Select this curve. And then all the way at the end, move it to 0.10 and then select the bigger curve. Now go back, press your mirror, and then press create because there's no tracking blur for this one. So once again, if you don't know, enter multi-layer clip and import your clip, edit keyframes, and then put this to 0.10 the other way because transitions are the opposite, and then a little bit away go to 0.02, use this curve, and then right before the middle mark it all the way down to 0 and then use that curve, and then obviously press your mirror and then press create. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you hated it, please give it a big thumbs up because that is very well appreciated. I'm sorry if my tutorials are kind of hard for you to understand. I personally am a learner that like uses visuals and has to look at it and like has to kind of do it in order to understand and to learn. Whereas I know most people, like, you just explain it to them and they get it. I don't learn that way. I'm sorry. I'm more of a visual learner, so I apologize to those who struggle watching my tutorials. The only advice I can really give you is just pay close attention to what I do. I know I like just scream and make noises and swear a lot, but you know, that's just me. Oh well. I hope you like this video. I love you guys. Bye!